Welcome to Sideline, the Baseline with your hosts, MB and Klew.
Klew.
What's going on, y'all? I'm having big time technical difficulties this evening, but I'm gonna push through anyway. Got my homeboy holding it down, MB. It don't matter. So if something should happen to me, he'll take over and go ahead and lay it down, man. And we jumping right off the porch this evening with he's a problem. You know what time it is. He's a problem, ballers. And right out the gate, NCAA football was played this weekend, and some boys was out there balling. Malik Willis, Liberty quarterback, threw for 345 yards, rushed for 97 yards, and seven. That's right, I said it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 touches, man. 7 touches, MB. They only scored 56 points. So, hey, I mean, I think it was 56. And so it was a few field goals involved, but boy, he was all over the field.
Oh no, he's definitely a problem. For those who don't know what touches is, it's touchdown. And those who don't know what he's a problem is represent that he's a problem for anybody he playing against. That joker was a problem, man. All right, getting that thing done. But hey, who else was a problem, man? I got to go defense, baby, and I got to go ACC. Wait for my man Nick Anderson, freshman walk on. Yeah, you heard freshman walk on. My man, he was AKA the water boy. He getting it down. He had not one, not two, but 3 picks.
Yes, sir,
baby. Hey, to help Wake Forest upset Virginia Tech, baby. And on top of that, he had 11 tackles. All right, to help secure that victory. He's a problem. Hey, right now, hey, might as well call him Rudy because they about to put him on full scholarship right away, baby.
Yes, sir. Nick Anderson. Man, golly, that's man. I ain't even know that. You shocked me with that one. I ain't know it was a walk-on.
Yeah, he a walk-on.
You go deep. You go deep. Yeah.
Stickers. I'm like, no, I don't want no game ball. Give me my scholarship right now. That's what I want. Give me my scholarship right now, baby.
Well, it'll be
intramural football.
Hey, you just pissed somebody, mom and dad off. They just got cut, MB.
Hey, that joker's he's a problem. He earned this scholarship. If he don't get another, hey, he ain't got to make another play all year. He earned his, man. Wake Forest, get that man, pay the man a scholarship.
Hey, to keep it going, the Ohio State University. You know how when you play with a few folks from Ohio State, they you say what?
Yeah,
Ohio State. No, the Ohio State.
Yeah. I'm in Buckeye territory right now. So it's definitely true.
It'll be where they get that foolishness from, man.
I don't know. They trying to be fancy. You know how they trying to keep up with the Joneses, you know, Michigan, a Michigan man. So they trying to add something to it. That's all.
Well, the Justin Fields got off this Saturday, baby. First game for the Big Ten. Listen, Justin Fields quarterback, 20 for 21. That's right. I said 20 for 21. He threw it 21 times, MB, and it was 20 completions. The one completion he missed, it was a drop touchdown in the end zone only because the kid caught it, MB. But he clipped it. He jumped so high, he hit his legs. He did almost a flip, landed with the ball arm, the arm with the ball that was secured in, it hits the ground and pops out. This joker would have went 21 for 21. Hey, listen, he had 3 touches. That would have been 4, man, but Justin Fields, he's a problem.
You know what, Klew, man? It seemed like he cheating off another dude, man. I'm gonna let you take it because it seemed like deja vu. Take the next person on the list, man.
Hey, look,
they must be cousins.
Hey, and the Big Ten did it again. This was Friday night, right after MB and I got off, though. This was Friday night. It wasn't even Saturday night. It was Friday night. Graham Mertz of Wisconsin went, guess what, MB? 20 for 21 again.
Exactly. That's why I say deja vu. They must be cousins.
247 yards and 5 touches. Guess what? The Big Ten quarterback duo, Justin Fields, Graham Mertz, he's a problem. Graham Mertz a problem, and he's a big problem right now too, LB.
Yeah.
They say they done popped him for COVID, man. So now he's a real problem.
Yeah, man. Especially that Big Ten. Big Ten ain't messing around.
Right.
You know, test positive for COVID. You got to sit out 21 days. You can't pull a Nick Saban.
They're going to see.
You got to sit out 21 days, a minimum of 21 days, regardless. Right?
Well,
that's the protocol.
Well, let me tell you why it ain't fair, man. For that situation, he's the number 2 quarterback already.
Exactly.
Number 1 got hurt in the preseason.
Yeah, hurt.
So now he's number 2. They down to their 3rd quarterback. We in week 2 for them.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, and they already got a short season. So hey, if he's taking a confirmed test again to see if he's definitely got it, and man, that may be a problem for Wisconsin because they need that quarterback to win, man. Hey, but one thing that he's a problem, and I definitely wanted to take this one, man. Hey, I've been calling receivers out. My man, down at UM, Michael, Handyman, Harley. He's a problem. Hey, finally showed up and showed out. Had 10 catches, 170 yards, 1 touch. Hey, he was getting it done. He's a problem. Finally getting Derrick King. All right, because the receivers was a problem. Now, and a real problem. Now he's trying to step up. Hopefully they can turn that corner, man, and continue to be a problem, all right, in the teams that we're facing, man. He's a problem.
Now, look, LB, you keep it going and go with this first because I need to take the second.
Okay. Hey, so my man, Tom Brady, man. Hey, Tom Brady, y'all sleeping on Tom Brady, man. Tom Brady, he's a problem right now. Tom Brady threw for 369 yards, 4 touches, right, to 4 different receivers. All right, had a quarterback rating of 127. All right, leading the Tampa Bay offense, all right, to a victory over the Raiders, baby. Raiders, right? The whole team, man. Hey, Tom Brady letting you know, man, hey, don't sleep on. All right, hey, he just using his regular season to get well. You know how old people, they take them a while to get warmed up. So now my man TB's about to warm up, and then they got Antonio Brown, so hopefully he won't come in and be a problem. You know what I mean by that.
But,
hey, Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, he's what? The GOAT is still, he's a problem.
Yes, sir, man. And I think somebody went a little bit against the grain last week, and my dog Kyler Murray came through for me. 360 yards, 3 touches, 104.5 QBR rating, beating them Seahawks, MB. Kyler Murray, he's a problem.
Yeah, he was definitely a problem, man. We'll talk more about that later. But I'm telling you, hey, I got to stick that same game, man. And the dude that was a problem, I love this dude, man. This dude is this dude good people, man. If you got a daughter, you want your daughter to marry this kid. This kid, man, he's all about it. Talent, Lockett, man. Hey, 15 catches for 200 yards with 3 touches. That's TDs, man. Hey, all year long, man. Even last year, picking up where he left off. Hey, Tyler Lockett, man. He's a problem. Great kid, too. Klew, great kid, man. Great people, man. You love to see a kid bounce back like that, getting it done, man. And he was a problem all day long, baby.
Well, look, staying in NFC, you know, Devontae Adams, 13 receptions, 196 yards. He was 4 short of your boy Lockett, man. 196 yards, 2 touches. He's back. Devontae Adams, he's a problem.
Yeah, no doubt. And then I'm gonna circle back to that Seattle-Arizona game, man, showing some love. Hey, you got to give honor where honor's due. And one dude, man, that's arguably becoming one of the best safeties in the league is my man Bubba Baker, man. Arizona Cardinals, 14 tackles, 1 pick. Hey, but what's his name? Metcalf ran him down like he was chasing an ice cream truck.
Bro, Metcalf can run, bro.
Hey, he was a problem, though. But, hey, Bubba getting it done, man. Made a great pick, man, down in the red zone. Seattle trying to go in and score, man. Hey, right there, bad throw by Russell, but he made it bad. He made it worse because he almost took it to the house, man. He's a problem. My sister love. My sister love. She's showing up. Look at her. How about them Buckeyes? We just showed Justin Fields some love. See that she know now. That's why she on the show now because those are Buckeyes playing now.
Oh man, hey, That is funny, LB.
Hey, but you know one thing that is a problem, man. Hey, this Major League Baseball, we got to show some love. Usually we got my boy on here, Coach Laser, holding down for us. But those Dodgers, the super team Dodgers, hey, Clayton Kershaw, hey, found his mojo back. He was struggling in the playoff prior to this year. Man, he got it going on, man. Pitched 5 2/3 inning, gave up 5 hits and 2 runs and 2 walks, but had 6 strikeouts. Hey, to get that Game 5 win, man, just had enough. They won 4-2 last night. The Dodgers, all right, they played the Devil Rays tomorrow, man. The Dodgers, hey, when they got the old man pitching like that, they're a problem. And Crenshaw, he's a problem.
Yes, sir. Pack Jam team balling, MB.
Oh, yeah, bandwagon. Bandwagon. Anybody bandwagon? That bandwagon.
Hey, LB, I tried to tell you from the first time we brought him on, I say he's a winner, LB. Just remember that. He's a winner now. His season don't end till they holding the chip, MB. Hey, look, Big Ten returns, man. So, MB, you know, a lot of games played in Big Ten.
Look what Adam said. Instead of Pack Jam, Pack Great job, Adam. Great job, man.
Hey, Adam, I'm with you when you're right.
Pack Wagon. Hey, Ron, and I'm going to get to you in a minute, Ron. I'm going to get to your question in a minute, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, there he go. See how they want to skip, go right to Miami, man. Look. So, MB, the Big Ten was playing a lot of football. If you can, because I couldn't pull it up, MB. If you want to pull up the scoreboard for the Big Ten games, but my question to you was, what was your first, impression of the Big Ten?
I mean, Ohio State Buckeyes, right? They picked up where you left off. You talked about Justin Field. Here you go, Lisa. We showing you the Ohio State Buckeyes, right? Let's show them some love, right? All right, they played Nebraska. All right, beat them 52-17. All right, Justin Field, like you said, we recognize him being a problem. Klew, like you're talking about, 20 for 21, 276 yards, 2 touches. All right, and then also carried the ball and scrambled 15 carries for 54 yards and a touch, right? And their defense showed up, man. The defense did a good job for the most part, right? They forced some takeaways and stuff like that. All right, but the thing that concerned me, right, and then offensively, right, they had some question marks at receivers. They had 2 receivers go over 100 yards and stuff like that. They did good. All right, defense, like I said, my biggest concern is in the trenches, right? A lot of those yards that Field scrambled for was because of pressure. It wasn't design runs on both sides of the ball. Nebraska, all right, was running the ball on as well, getting some momentum going on as well. They had McCaffrey going on and Martinez with the running game, right? They just turned the ball over. It just kept shooting itself in the arm. So moving forward, it seemed like all the teams that arguably could be number 1, right? Ohio State in that discussion, we'll get that to later, got some question marks. But I thought they did overall. They came ready to play as the first game of the season. And even Ryan Day, man, Ryan Day is like, hey, take this. Hey, the game is out of reach, Klew. It's 4th and 1. He got the backups in there. He not calling off the dog, baby. He put a Jimmy Johnson. He ran up the score, scored another touchdown, like, take that. And then after the game, I guess he got some heat. So he said he's going to apologize to Scott Frost. But Scott Frost tried to call a timeout when it was like end of the game, try to get another pass. So I don't know. They got some heat going on, some beef going on over there, but we'll see what's going on. But overall, Ohio State, and obviously with Penn State. Go ahead.
Yeah, you done broke down the game, man. I said, I'm
on it.
Hey, I said, what was your impression of the Big Ten? So since you gonna break down the game, I'm gonna argue against. I thought Ohio State, but that to be their first game, I believe everything that was said by Ryan Day and by Joey Galloway. Their first game out. You look at the situation, man, and those plays that Nebraska hit on them were wrinkle plays. MB stuff that they can't run again. And when they tried to do some of it again, they stuffed it. Because it was scouted plays. Like they knew they were gonna be in this defense, that set, and then they gave them that look. Yes, I agree. And I'm gonna tell you right now, Martinez is in trouble. McCaffrey finna get that job. I'm gonna throw that out there as well. But I thought Ohio State dominated. They you gotta remember, Nebraska scored them first 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. They scored 3 points after that, MB. So I'm not worried about them defensively. I'm not worried about them in the trenches. None of that flew when it really counted. And Ryan Day's supposed to score the ball every single time. We forget, man. We forget. We have a short memory. Just a few years ago, we was talking about, man, these teams get in a situation with the BCS and how do they look? What do they need to beat a team by? And then where points start to come into play, then you got to run the score up. No, run it up every chance you get. And I think Ryan Day needs to be real about the situation. Don't be talking about you gonna apologize. If Scott Frost could have went up and scored 52 on you, he would have scored 62. Okay, this is a guy at UCF that ran up the score on everybody. MB, everybody. So I wouldn't be apologizing for what? For what?
Well, you ruthless, man. CMB, cash money. Hey, Nino Brown, baby. You Nino Brown. Throw him off the roof, baby. Throw him off the roof, Nino Brown. Go ahead, Nino Brown, with your bad self. Good Lord.
That's all.
Hey, and then you got my sister love. She right there with every single time. Apologize for what? Okay, well, hey, well, go ahead, go keep running. Go run with your bad self. Go ahead.
No, so then we can go right to number 18, Michigan. You know, has a huge win, I think, against Minnesota. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't know what to anticipate. I didn't know what to expect. I went with Michigan, but I was nervous. They got a big time quarterback. When I say big time, he huge. I mean, he looked like a linebacker back there.
Yeah, no doubt, he does. He does. He led them, man. He was 15 for 22, 225 yards pass, and then he carried the ball 8 carries for 52 yards and 1 touches. Man, they had a total of 478 yards, right? And then Michigan defense, they had question marks on both sides of the ball, you know.
Yep.
And their defense stepped up, had 5 sacks and 2 takeaways, and had a scoop and score for a touchdown as well. And then special teams, they showed up too, blocked the punt and whatnot.
Hey,
and,
MB, that was big man with football. That was a tilt, and he broke free. And it landed right there. Big man with football.
But big man was rumbling, man. But you know what? Hey, so it's a good first game, good win for Michigan. Like you say, they had a lot of question mark, you know, but still it's a good first win, and that's what it is. It's something to build off of. Because truth be told, I mean, we knew about Minnesota offense, right? That they were they returned a lot of people, but obviously their defense, right, was a question mark. And to me, when I looked at Michigan offense, I was just about to say it reminded me when Harbaugh was at San Fran, remind me, and big number 5 put me in the mindset of the with Kaepernick, how he was running offense. So they still got some kinks to work out. Got a lot of young guys that are playing, so they still not battle tested. But based on the schedule, keep moving forward. They definitely head in the right direction. I like what I see. It's something to get build off beating a 21 ranked Minnesota team, which is good. And then the other thing is standing up. Go ahead, Caleb.
I'm not gonna go to the next game because down further in our schedule, MB, I got that game pulled out. So the last Big Ten game, I'm not gonna talk about right now. We can go on. And if you got something to say, about Big Ten excluding
no doubt.
The big win at Indiana, then you can say it. Otherwise, we can move on to Miami.
No, we're fine. No, as far as other games of the Big Ten, we got to take note. Got to throw some more my love to Shiano, man, of Rutgers, his second term.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, they beat Michigan State 38-27. Yeah. Definitely a defensive battle, man. Rutgers defense, both head coaches are defensive minded coaches, and man, shoot, Rutgers, man, they forced 7 takeaways, man. 7 takeaways. You
can't beat nobody like that, MB.
Huh?
You gonna lose every game you trying over 7 times. I don't care who you playing.
No doubt.
You could be playing Miami and you still gonna
there you go. You're playing Duke. You Hey, you only need half of the turnovers like that at Duke, and you can still kill on time. You can't beat nobody. And then we mentioned earlier, huh?
You see, that's why I went at you, because I know you was gonna get me, so I shot you before you shot me.
You shoot at me first. Shots fired. And then also the other game we kind of mentioned earlier with Wisconsin, man. They had it rolling against Illinois on Friday night, getting it done. Their defense also, we mentioned their quarterback, but their defense, Wisconsin always have a good defense. They got 2 takeaways and 3 sacks and doing real good on that. But the game that everybody is kind of the shocker, right, in the Big Ten is that what game that you mentioned earlier, Penn State took an L, right? Took an L against Indiana, man.
Hey, listen, and this was what I put as the best game of the weekend. That's how big this was. And not just in Indiana getting this victory, MB, but the game was a great game. My wife and I were sitting there watching all the way, we got they clowning, and I need to add a late day clowning, because I just thought about a situation where they was clowning in that game too. So so watch this, MB. We finna hit an audible and go to they clowning, man, real quick. And I'm gonna first say they clowning. Indiana, listen, scores, got the game, sold up as far as as far as taking it into overtime, right? Kicker go out there and no lie, me and my wife sitting there watching the game, and she says, "Well, honey, what do they do now?" I say, "Well, they need to kick it deep and really kick it out the back of the end zone and keep them from getting out of bounds, okay? And don't throw it over your head and you go into overtime." She said, "It'll be funny if they try to do an onside kick." I say, "Ain't no way." It'll be. They clowned it. The kicker kicked the onside kick on his own.
Yeah.
And MB, I ain't gonna even sit here and lie to you. You know me and you, we love the Lord. Loving the Lord was wrong. We wouldn't want to be right. I'd have lost my job, MB. Not that the kicker made the mistake, but look at when the kicker walked out, the coach yelled at him. The kicker looked at him like, "Man, please," and kept walking. Oh, I would have jumped. I would have stripped him. I'd have pulled everything of mine up off of him, LP, and I would have lost my job on national TV. LP ain't like that at all. The way he just walked past, like I called that play. LP, I ain't called that play. What did you do?
Right. Wait,
the kicker, he clowned.
Hey. And then who else was clowned though in that same game? The running back for Penn State, right? He pulled a Todd Gurley, right? All he had to do, don't score. The game is over. Don't score. Take a knee. Don't score. He ended up scoring, all right? And then now you get what's the name opportunity to go down the field and get it done. He's clowned. Number 4, 28. He should have just downed the ball. I was like, what is he doing? What's going on? Right? I mean, because then Indiana, like you said, man, they end up going to overtime. And then the thing I like, look, we don't lost Klew. All right, we'll be back. Well, the thing I like, man, about that game is just a gut call that Indiana head coach had to call. I mean, they're overtime, and it's like, man, we're going for the win. They go for 2 points when it was not mandatory, it wasn't required to go for 2 points. They was like, we going for the win. And, man, that quarterback, man, for Indiana, Pinnick, man, that joker laid on a barbed wire to get that thing done. That was a grown man move, stretching out, reaching out, barely, all right, getting the ball in. I'm talking about Klew, talking about the whole thing with Indiana coach. He's like, man, we ain't playing for no stinking tie. We going for the win.
Talk about guts, MB. He never hesitated. The offense ain't even turned and look at the sideline, MB.
They always on the table. And man, the quarterback made, man, the stretch, the reach out, the get the ball in there, man, that was a grown man move, man.
MB. And again, my wife and I sitting there, I was like, oh, the play. when they were in the bunch formation and motioned out of it, I was like, oh, this quarterback draw, quarterback run. Like, I don't care what routes they run, this a quarterback run all the way. He takes off, MB, goes to the corner. When he jumped, I said, ain't no way. No, MB, I said, ain't no way. He took off too far. Touchdown. Yeah. MB, that was listen, that was an athletic play, bro.
Oh, no, that was a grown man play. That's what I call lay on the barbed wire. That joke was laying on the barbed wire, man. He was trying to get it done, man. That was a grown man play, man. Man. So, yeah, no, definitely, that was some good football, man. Definitely some good football. And speaking of some good football, man, we got to show some love to the ACC. All right, North Carolina versus North Carolina State. All right, Tar Heels, baby, end up getting a W 48-21. All right, man. They quarterback still, Sam Howell, he's still sleepwalking. But I'll tell you who ain't sleepwalking, those running backs, man. They got some grown men at running back, man. They got a two-headed monster. Carter and Williams, they getting it done, man. They getting it done. Williams had 19 carries for 160 yards. All right. Carter had what? I think 17 carries for 106 yards. They some grown man, Klew. North Carolina getting it done.
That was a dominant performance late by North Carolina. If you looked at the beginning of that game, you see why they're having why they lost the game to Florida State, and you see why they've had struggles here and there. Sam, what is it? Sam Cowell? Sam, what is his name? Howell.
Yeah.
Listen. He's making some poor decisions a lot of times, MB. And it's getting his team in trouble. And it's costing his team early on. They have a lot of talent. MB, they have a lot of talent all over the field. I'm talking about on offense, on defense. Listen, these guys can flat out play. But he's going to determine how far that ship sails, MB, because he puts them in difficult situations. It was one particular play, MB, third and maybe medium. They in field goal range. After he finished scrambling, MB, and could have threw the ball away like 3-4 times during the scramble.
Right.
Ends up losing tons of yards on that sideline. You should have saw one of the offensive coaches losing his mind on him, MB, because it was uncalled for. They had 3 points. If you just throw the ball away, when he finished with it, they got to punt the football. And it's plays like that, man, that I was just sitting there saying, okay, this is why. This is why y'all can go to a Florida State and stink it up an entire half and then shut them down and go off the second half. But it just wasn't enough. And to be honest with you, early on, this game was close, MB. This is another game that was close early on. I know it don't look like it when you see the 48-21 score, but this was a close game early on, and then they blew it away. But they're way more talented than pretty much everybody they done played thus far.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, like you said, it's not a lack of talent. I was fortunate enough to see them play Miami last year, and I was like, man, 18 speed is ridiculous. And they got great skill position players as well. And, I mean, the receivers showing up. Brown had over 100 yards, like already told about the offense. And then the defense showed up, man. They was facing a backup quarterback. Matter of fact, the starting quarterback from North Carolina State, he was out. Then they faced the backup. Then they faced the core. They brought in a freshman, right? And then they re-brought the other guy back in, right?
Right.
And they produced, man. They were harassing whoever was back there, right? Like it was a close game. North Carolina State showed some fight, right? And which is suspected, man. They've been fighting all year and stuff. And but Carolina defense had 3 sacks and 3 picks, man. So they was getting it done, man. And they was, like you said, making a short field. But sometimes I think when you get in that, you start reading the press clippings and stuff like that, you start trying to do too much, you know?
Right.
You're trying to press. And when you describe that play, it doesn't surprise me. Dudes start pressing and trying to make something happen as opposed to you got to calm down, let the game come to you, you know? Just play within the system. Don't try to do too much.
Right.
Get the talent around you, man. Get the win. And trust me, man, once you start doing that, just start flowing. But when you start pressing, that's when you start making mistakes, and that's what happened. And then now you in that same rut, you know. But so yeah, that's the thing, man. I see the same thing you're talking about. Another game in the ACC was the Wake Forest surprise upset of V-Tech, man, 23-16.
MB. He's the problem is the reason they won that game.
On freshman walk-on, man. If you missed it earlier, my man had 3 picks getting it done, man. 3 picks, and the defense had 3 sacks as well. And then the running back for Wake Forest, man, he's a workhorse. Number 26, Christian Smith, finished 13 carries for 129 yards, man. And then the key is with Virginia Tech, man, if you could stop the running game, especially their main running back, Herbert, who's like a monster, they held him to 64 yards. Even though everybody else got their carry, they pulled a Belichick. It was like, everybody else can get theirs, but he's not going to be here. Yeah. And that's what they did, man. They was able to get that thing done, man, and make it happen. And then V-Tech, man, they missed 2 field goals, and then they had like 10 penalties. They just played sloppy all over the field, and Wake Forest came ready to play. And you know what's so funny, Klew? This is Wake Forest home game, man, homecoming game, man. They was like, yo, we got to put
I'm talking about, baby. Put Virginia Tech on homecoming, baby. We got that. Listen, Notre Dame destroys Pitt. Hey, man, I've been bad-mouthing Notre Dame. I'm going to just be up front with it.
Yeah, no doubt.
Listen, Notre Dame act like they somebody now. 45-3, I think it was.
Yeah, 45-3. Yeah. and then they coach like they coach even drunk the Kool-Aid. He said, look, man, you know how he say we taking one game away? He like, no, we looking forward to winning some championships. We looking ahead. You know what I'm saying? And they still got another game against Georgia. They were like, look, we're looking ahead. We're looking to take care of business. Like, I'm like, okay, I see. Like, he didn't take the company line. Oh, we're gonna take. No, he's letting you know what. No, he put all his chips on the table, man.
No, you know? Yeah. And perfect. And if you look at Clemson now, MB, they talking about. I guess perfection is now expected as Clemson beat Syracuse. And if you listen to the post game interview, man, they going in on Dabo. And Dabo, after about the 3rd question, that sounded like he was in the wrong press conference. Right, Dabo said, am I missing something here? Have we just lost the game?
Right.
But MB, I'm going to tell you something now. I think the problem is, you've been on top, Dabo. Last 5 years, you've been somebody. You've been with the elite, the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Clemsons. It's been all about you, bro. And now for you to look at it and say you're not supposed to dominate, Joaquin told you to dominate, and you didn't. You didn't, MB.
I think you're exactly right, and I think what happened was even his quarterback. I think what happened to his quarterback early, from my understanding, said that, hey, we just didn't play our best. We didn't come ready to play.
That's true, because his expectations.
Yeah, and then that kind of set the atmosphere when Dabo come. I guess he didn't realize his quarterback said
Trevor Lawrence. Yeah,
right. So he's like, "What's going on?" But yeah, so I get it. The standard, but that's the thing when you win, when you're so accustomed to winning, right? You're supposed to dominate, right? Why can't you say dominate? Headed into the 3rd quarter, it was only a 27-21 score. It was a game. And so you expect, and not until they end up getting a sack and end up scooping and scoring on that play, that kind of gave them some breathing room. They end up finishing out, but they gave a lot of big plays on both sides. Obviously offense, right? Trevor Lawrence threw his first interception and pick six, right? Then defensively, man, they gave us some big plays on the ground and in the air. That we're not used to seeing that. So you would question that performance. Hey, what's going on? And
MB,
go ahead.
MB, it always concerns me, and I didn't get a chance to say this prior to when you were even against you guys when we were talking about that, because you went off on a tangent so bad. It made me. I ain't get to talk about some positive things, but I'm gonna go back to Clemson and I'm gonna say, obviously, that's not the Clemson of old. Their weapons are lacking. They really have 2 weapons on offense: the quarterback and the running back. And then when you go to defense, MB, if they can't get pressure, they're in trouble. I'm just going to tell you that. up front. If you can get protection, and it was shown, in this game against Syracuse, they protected their quarterback. They got positive plays. When they didn't protect the quarterback, Clemson looked like Clemson. That always scares me when anywhere from 50% or more of your defensive snaps, you got to bring pressure, because that tells me you overcompensating for some areas, bro.
Yeah, well said. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Well point. Well, one team that I don't know, they didn't compensate. Well, they compensated for something. I mean, they got that W. It looked like we was compensating for out there is that UM versus Virginia, right?
Uh-huh.
And we was able to squeeze out that victory. And I knew heading in the game, I was concerned just what you're talking about, what they're talking about with Clemson, right? I was concerned the same thing about UVA. This is the game I was concerned about, because to me it's a trap game. It's don't take the cheese. Like, you better bring your A game. Don't read the newspaper clippings. Don't think, that you play to the level of your opponent. And this is the game that concerned me heading to this game, because I know Virginia, man, they well coached. Even though they had some guys that was out at the last minute with the COVID, They got their quarterback back. But then still, I knew with their type of offense they run, a little 3-card Marley offense to a shuffle, razzle dazzle.
I ain't understand none of that they was doing, MB.
Exactly.
I was confused.
and they were confused themselves, right? They was trying to do everything they can to win with the Wildcat package. They had 98 at quarterback, 99. They had the number 5, right? They was trying to do everything, and like
MB, they Wildcat features a DN in the backfield though.
Well, you know what, K. Louis, I thought, I was like, what's going on? They playing rugby, they got like numbers, it don't matter, like, golly. But they got this thing where you earn your number, and it concerned me if the one dude was a transfer quarterback from Mississippi State, so he got 99, and then the other dude, Armstead, is a quarterback, and he got 98. I was like, man, that's a concern. He must have earned his number in a
MB, 98 need to tote that thing, man. Yeah, 98. Listen, when MB, when 98 was getting that thing downhill, boy, people were trying not to hit him, MB. I don't know if you were seeing what I was seeing, but people weren't trying to hit him.
Adam said felt like schoolyard. Yeah, Adam, it felt like schoolyard. I was like, man, is that Jesse Cuz? I thought I was with 98. It's all out there. I said, what's going on, man? But
wow,
offensively, man, that's the thing, because like one of the guys mentioned, MB, what you think about the run fit, and to me, like, they took a big step. I'm talking about Miami. I told you from the Clemson game that the run fit was always a concern. They took a big step with Pittsburgh, fixed that up. But this stuff like this, when you get this like misdirection stuff, Wildcat stuff, man, you got to be on with your run fit, because you get a lot of false reads,
Right.
It's almost you can't go until you know. So I knew that may be a big issue. But defensively, the other thing I was concerned is that, man, we keep blowing coverages, man. And that thing, it was a couple guys running free, easy, nobody around them. And I'm like, man, what's going on? We can't have these self-inflicted wounds, but thank God for the offense, man. Derek King came ready to play, had over 322 yards passing. All right, getting it done, 1 touch, man. And then his running ability to keep extended drive was very good, And then, like we mentioned earlier, receivers finally stepped up, man. Handyman Harley, man, he got it done, man. So I was happy that the receivers finally stepped up, because I knew Virginia was going to pack the box and make our receivers beat us and give us some opportunities over the top, and we took advantage of that.
MB, I after watching that game, I said Miami would be 0-6 if it wasn't for Derek King, and I don't know if that's good or bad.
Yeah,
and that's all I had to say about that game.
Yeah. No, he's definitely grown, man. Hey, you're right, Double A. It is Jesse's birthday today, man. My man.
Oh man, Jay Boogie, happy birthday, Boogie.
Yeah, Jay Boogie birthday today, man.
Hey, look, we had another they clowning. MB let me finish. I threw an extra one in there, but they clowned. Listen, the Auburn Tigers have been the beneficiaries of 2 back-to-back 2 weeks of calls that have all gone their way. The first one, MB, when I saw it, I was like, what just happened? And then I'm like, wait, when they replayed it, I see he threw that thing backwards. So Bo Nix tried to spike the ball. They rushed it to the line of scrimmage. And what happened was when they snapped in the ball, it was fumbling in his hands. It didn't hit the ground, but it was in his hands. By the time he got it to grip it, he was turned behind himself and spiked it behind. Well, that's a live ball. That's called a fumble. That's called a lateral. Okay, that's a live ball. Well, Arkansas jump on the ball. The referee say no, incomplete pass or intentional grounding. They called it. And I said, what? No. Well, they go ahead and draw the ball down, win the game. This week, they playing Lane Kiffin and the boys. Kiffin, Ole Miss kicked the ball off. Listen, I done watched that thing 2, 3, 4, 5 times. He touched that ball, bro. He touched that ball, LB. That ball was touched by old boy on the kickoff. And we was always taught, LB, special teams wise, man, if you think you touched it, get on it. Exactly. Old boy turned around, looked at it. Oh, y'all know I ain't touched that. Turned around. Well, Ole Miss went on there and dove on that thing, and it should have been a touchdown. Well, it was overturned, and 2 weeks in a row, Auburn done got the benefit of the call. SEC refs, y'all clowning.
Hey, Double A got a question. He said, what is Belichick going to do now, man? Speaking of clowning.
Oh, no. There y'all go. Y'all can't put him in this now. This segment ain't about Belichick.
Well, I think when you talking about clown, I think he talking about Cam is clowning that quarterback, man.
No, I mean, you got to remember, Cam got going early, did a good job, and then got knocked out. Listen, man, goes back to MB and I from the beginning of the year where we kept saying, what do you do when? We didn't say if. We kept saying, what do you do when? And now you got situations every week like, my against the grain was gonna be John Gruden them beating Tampa Bay. That was gonna be it. Well, guess what? His whole old lineman, he ain't took game time that they was playing. And then he get one old lineman goes out, and then another old lineman get thrown out of the game by another horrible call. That ref was clown. So this COVID thing, for real, man, the offensive line didn't even practice all week. Like that don't even seem right, MB. If I'm David Carr, I say, hey man, John, you go back there and play that thing. These boys ain't doing nothing all week, but he wings.
Yeah, but yeah, and I definitely understand that when you're talking about Raiders. But with Cam, obviously Cam, even the thing about Cam before he tested positive with COVID, he had a bad game, and then he came back and had a bad game. Now back-to-back bad games. So it's almost like NFL, it's like, what have you did for me lately, right? And you're good as your last play. And so he realized, he came out and said something about, he worried that he now may be losing starting job. And you know how Belichick is. Belichick, they definitely ain't accustomed to losing, and they're going to do whatever it takes to win.
Right.
So I look at Double A talking about bring back flag football. So that's the thing, and you bring up a good point, man. Dude had COVID, whatnot, but trust me, man, you know how it is. When you turn on that game film, ain't no injury report going. Ain't no injury reports coming on that game film. Whatever, when you step on that field, you get judged by your performance.
Absolutely.
And I'm against San Fran. He didn't have a good performance. They ended up taking that L.
But see, you got two things, MB. You're absolutely correct. And I'm not trying to give Cam an excuse. I'm just stating the fact. The fact that you and I spoke early in the season and said, what happens when? We knowing this kind of stuff going to happen. And as a staff, guess what? You can say Cam all you want to, but you got to get him ready to play, knowing he came off a bad week, then played in 2 weeks, and now you start him again. Maybe that was a bad choice to even start him. Knowing that his confidence may have not been there, and then he hasn't been in the system. Remember, this is a new system again for him. So, I think a lot of blame can go around here. Mainly, MB, this is just what it is. This is what it is this year, man. And I think it's going to be more of that, where we just found this. Just think about if this is a playoff game and Russell Wilson got to not hit the exit button. You see what I'm saying? Like, this stuff is gonna happen, and it continues to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's just all growing pains, and I mean, obviously he's coming back from injury, but like I said, you got to get it done, man. You're professional, got to get it done. It's growing pains. You're gonna go through it. Can you be patient? Can you believe in him? You know, he's still your best opportunity to win the ball. So I mean, win the ball game. So to me, I don't think he needs to be worried about that. He just needs to take care of business. But one thing that we definitely need to be worried about is this NFC East. What is going on, right? The feeling that right now, it's NFL history, right? They never had. It's a new record heading to the 7th week of the season. Having to lead the division with 2 wins.
That's right, 2-4, baby. And they take what I wrote in my notes is they take a commanding lead in the division. That's what I said. A commanding lead at 2-4.
2-4-1. No, don't forget the 1. Don't forget the tie, because the tie.
I forgot.
The tie is what got them in the lead, because the other 2 teams below them, Washington and Dallas, they got 2 wins, but they got 5 losses.
5 losses,
so they got a half a point lead, right, with the tie, right, in that division, man. So I don't know. I think the worst team ever to win the division, if I'm not mistaken, was the 2010 Seattle Seahawks. They had a 7-9 record, right? And right now they're on pace, right? Whoever wins the NFC East is on pace to break that, right? It's like it's like bowl game that maybe when you get 6 wins, you get eligible for a bowl. Well, that may be the case with the NFC East, right? They get 6 wins to be eligible for a whole
division champs, baby. Exactly. Hey, LB, would you wear that shirt?
Oh, yeah, division champs now.
6-10, division champs, baby.
I have the X out, just put division champs on. You know how they do it. They when they make the highlight films and stuff, you finish whatever, right? They make it seem like you won the Super Bowl. So it's gonna be some creativity with that design, right?
Yes, sir. I wear that thing with pride. 6-10, division champs, baby. Yes, sir. So look,
go ahead. Speaking of division, man, one division that looked like you asked the question, has Pittsburgh begin to separate himself from the pretenders of the AFC North?
Right.
And I would say no, right? And even though they came off an impressive win,
right,
versus Tennessee Titans, I told you my reservation going into the game. I said Pittsburgh was going to win, but I don't know if you remember. I said one person that concerned me on that Pittsburgh team doing too much is Big Ben.
Big Ben. Yeah, you sure did.
Threw what, like 3 picks?
Yeah.
And he could have threw more.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what he was doing, man. He just trying to do too much. Like take the sack and all this stuff. I mean, and that's the thing, man. They've been winning because he's been taking care of the ball. And then now you put him in that situation. And even the running game was, you see Connor was starting to run the ball, move the chains and stuff against a tough Tennessee Titans defense. Yeah, and then the receivers showing up for him and stuff like that. But when he started doing too much, that's the only thing that concerned me about them, is when he started doing too much, you know? Right. And so if he's going to continue to do that, man, to me, it's hard for me to put my money on him, on Pittsburgh, right? Because when Big Ben get in that move, man, it's like, he was acting like he was Magic Johnson, throwing no-look passes and all that. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Come on, man. But thank God they was able to pull out a win. I mean, because they could have easily lost that game, man, because Tennessee missed the field goal at the end to tie it up, man. Right.
Well, moving forward, you definitely talked about this a little bit earlier. Brady takes it to Gruden with his old team, baby. So and this is the note I stuck in there, MB. I say Gurley squashes Raheem Moore's chance to get the Falcon job permanently.
Yeah,
because your boy said in order for Raheem to get a shot at the job, he had to go 11-0.
Who said that?
Arthur Blanks, baby.
Oh wow.
Arthur said, hey, you can pull up the quote. Said it. They asked him, does Raheem Morris have a chance to throw in his name in the hat? He says he will definitely have a chance. You hear that? Chance to become our head football coach if he goes 11-0, and they started out 1-0 last week, and Todd Gurley blowed it.
Yeah. I mean, and you look, Double A said, man, did you see the owner face frozen on the sideline? Man, they've been in some crazy win, because think about it, early this year, they had the onside kick versus the Cowboys that they were all like hypnotized with, you know, like go get it, right?
That's the one where they was all looking like, you got it, no, you got it, no.
Right, just waiting on it.
It ain't live yet. It ain't live.
Exactly.
We can't. LB, we can't go. We can't touch it till it's 10. Where they do that at?
Exactly. Just crazy. So with that happen, I'm like, here's my question, Klew. I was looking at the game, right? They made Detroit use all their times out. It was 3rd and 1, right? They get a first down. Detroit used the final timeout. The ball's on the 10-yard line. It's a minute and 12 seconds left to go in the game, right? Why are you running the ball?
Kneel it. Yeah.
Why you even put him in that position?
Right.
I don't understand.
Hey, come on now.
Like the kicker missed a field goal chip shot earlier, right? It's like an extra point, right?
Right.
Why are you running the ball anyway?
Right.
They have no more timeout.
Right. They can't stop.
Kneel it.
LB.
I'm like, what are you doing? They clowning. So,
hey, did you see how slick the DB was though?
Right.
He actually started making the tackle, so it made Gurley just naturally try to come up out of it. Did you see how slick he was? He didn't just like whiff him. He like hit him and then like, oh, you ran through me. You know what I'm saying? I love it.
Right. It was crazy, bro. I couldn't understand it. I was like, why are you running the ball? That's a chip shot field goal. Take it. You got a good kicker. That
well, they clown. We missed a few. They clown. All right,
I wanted to include. I was like, I just wanted the floor. I was like, I'm gonna talk about it when we get to it.
Okay.
They definitely counted. I know they putting the pressure on Gurley, and they say Gurley counted, which is right, but he should never been in that position anyway.
Well, hey, listen. Well, our final thing going against the grain paid off, MB. You might want to put some money on me and send me to Vegas, home.
Yeah. I told you. You've been I think you probably missed like 1 or 2 at the most.
Right, one. Yeah. I'm 3-1 now going against.
You've been going on that.
Hey, and listen, your guy Russell Wilson gave us the chance.
I know.
Them 3 picks were all in scoring position, MB. Yeah. All of them. You would at least have 3.
Well, the last one, wasn't scoring position. They did a blitz, and then it was a hot read to the receiver, and the receiver didn't even look back. You know, last one, when Simmons got it, that was in the middle of the field. Dang, that hurt, man.
Okay, I did miss that.
Right. But the one that Metcalf ran bubble down, that was in the red zone. And I think the other one was in there as well, you know?
Right.
And but you look at the play before that, through the little bubble screen to Metcalf, and then Moore get holding, and you go from
that was touchdown.
Right. It was
that was touchdown.
The game is over with.
Yeah.
And you get a flag, do a hold, and I was like, golly, but you know, that was a great battle. Like you said, even when you talked about being a guy, I was like, I could definitely see that. And it was definitely a concern, but it definitely was an exciting game to watch, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Man, it was an exciting game to watch, man. And man, it was a great battle, man. And Murray getting it done. And obviously Seattle defense, they got still some holes to fill, but it was definitely a great game. My Seahawks ended up losing, though, bro, you know?
Hey, listen, Kyler Murray is growing up right before our eyes, MB, and nobody's really paying attention to it. I saw it towards the end of the year last year. I said, this boy finna be all right. And then, and I know Kyler is talking to Russell at the end of the game when he hugged him and probably, pound him up and say, man, this because of you. Because Russell has set, a lot like you guys did, MB, at the linebacker position, making them stop drafting 6'5", 280 at Mike linebacker. Russell did that for the quarterback position. Still, Russell is an anomaly. And now you got a smaller Kyler Murray that has him to thank for being the number one pick of the draft, because Russell was the same quarterback, didn't go to the 4th round. Yeah. Kyler went number 1, but he went number 1 because Russell has been so consistent since they drafted him in the 4th round.
Yeah, no doubt. I think it was the 3rd, but you're right.
Okay.
No, but it's all good. It's just the point is, you're right. I mean, Russell is a game changer, you know, and he showed that the size don't matter. That if you could play, you could play, and then he's changing the game. Like you said, Klew, well said. And one guy, like, to me, that we did a show on him that I felt like was a game changer, but didn't get the chance, was Charlie Ward. You know, if Charlie Ward was in this system, right?
Oh, wow.
Oh my God! Wow. You know, he'd have been a beast. But
what's impressive about Kyler, MB, how we all know he's too short to see over anybody. Yeah. But do you see him working the passing lanes? He steps left, he steps right to get a good picture, and he's throwing darts, man. He's not getting balls batted like you would think, because he's not sitting in the traditional pocket. He's moving so that he can see down the field, and then he's releasing it. And he's throwing some great balls. And then when he gets out, he's dangerous, bro. He's just like Russell, but he's actually faster than Russell.
Okay. When he gets out Luke, you're a history buff, right? And I'm going to see what you say. Double A, he threw out Drew Brees has helped as well. And he drew out Doug Flutie, was an enemy back there too. So
okay, I go back to Flutie. I'll go back to Flutie, and you will too. You know why. And then I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna still go to Russell, because Russell's only 5'10", and I think Drew is what, 5'11".
Yeah,
Drew might have him. He might be a shade under 6 foot, but I like Russell. I like Flutie first, so I'm gonna give you Flutie. And all y'all Miami people gon' never forget Flutie.
No, it's all good. But my question though, what I want to deal with you, do you think it's the same argument?
What's the same argument?
Even though, as far as Russell leading the way, right? As far, you know how we had this black and brown discussion?
Correct.
I saw it a little bit different when he brought about Flutie and brought up about Drew Brees, right? I thought it's more than just the height to me, right? It's also you still dealing with that racism too at the quarterback position when you got somebody small and athletic, you know what I'm saying? You dealing with like Lamar Jackson, even though he's not short, he's still it's another layer that we have to overcome to play that position as well.
I definitely agree, but the reason why I went to Flutie is because they treated Flutie a lot. It was a lot of similarities because they made him go to the CFL first.
No doubt.
And so because of that is why I said, yeah, I'll give it to Flutie, because he spent 7-8 seasons over in the CFL before he ever got a smell
at the NFL. CFL, what's that?
USFL. Yeah, right.
No doubt. He had to earn his way. I guess I was thinking you would pick it up, but for me, it's like you got to overcome a double negative, you know?
Right. Yeah. And I'm with you, and I agree with that. It's just because of Flutie was different. Flutie had to prove it everywhere, you know. and even when he got there and won, they still benched him, MB.
Yeah, no doubt. And then I mean, the one you go for Fran Tark, wasn't Tarkenton? Short, scrambling, you know. No doubt. I understand that.
So Buffalo, man, hey, I appreciate y'all bearing with me, dealing with me. This phone will be about to go dead now. So I don't want to end wrong. So I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Love y'all ballers, man. I'm gonna be right next time.
Double A said you was doing a Mountain Dew commercial earlier.
I know. And I gotta watch commercials to see what he's talking about, because I had that completely went over my head. It was funny though, Double A. But I need to find out why it was funny.
No doubt. Well, listen, man. Hey, listen, fellas. We appreciate y'all coming on and watching us today, man. We had fun talking ball, man. Talking ball. talking about the Ohio State, yeah, all that stuff, right? But hey, make sure you subscribe so you get the notifications, and check us out on Wednesday. We got a show, got a baseball player Weeks coming on, man, from the U, getting it done, man. Let him talk, share his story, talk about his career, talk about, man, how he's got it done, man. So you can't wait. Don't miss that. It's going to be this Wednesday at 6 p.m. And then also we'll come back with our pregame show on Friday at 6 p.m. as well. So, hey, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate the love. All right. And we got to get these Hurricanes right. Yeah, Mr. Weeks. Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Mr. Weeks. Yeah, no doubt, Double A. So, hey, listen, man, appreciate you, Double A. Appreciate you guys, man, showing the love. Appreciate your support. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. God bless.